So our essential question is the same as last week. How do different organisms obtain and use energy to survive in their environment? Last week we talked about plants. Plants go through the process of photosynthesis to make their own food within their own cells. This week we are going over how animals do it. So the process of cellular respiration converts sugar into ATP using oxygen. That's just the general definition of what happens during the process of cellular respiration. So respiration is when we breathe. Oxygen goes in, carbon dioxide goes out. Our cells do a mini version of this. So during cellular respiration, we take in two main compounds. And we just talked about those two main compounds. Good morning, Anthony. We take in sugar.
Good morning, Mr. Reese. I'm sorry, I'm in Kansas right now, so the time difference is kind of different.
Okay. Not a
So
big
sorry
deal.
for being.
Hop in and join. So we take in glucose by eating it. There are other sugars as well, but those more compound sugars get broken down into the glucose molecule. It's the simplest. And then oxygen, we inhale it. We also get rid of two main compounds in two ways. We get rid of water. We pee, we sweat. Both of those things are normal bodily functions that gets rid of water for us. And yes, we need water, but sometimes our bodies have too much water and we got to get rid of it. And then carbon dioxide, we exhale. Like I said, 8 billion people on the planet always breathing. Taking in oxygen, breathing out carbon dioxide. And last week we talked about the equation of photosynthesis. This week we're going to talk about the equation of cellular respiration. And all we're doing is putting these compounds, these four compounds, into a chemical reaction, a chemical formula. So the equation for respiration, C6H12O6, that is the molecular formula for glucose, plus 6 molecules of oxygen. We eat glucose, we breathe in oxygen. And then our waste products, well, our products. Carbon dioxide is the waste products, 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, we exhale it. 6 molecules of water, also a waste product. Like I said, we either pee or we sweat, or water actually gets exhaled a little bit every time we breathe with the carbon dioxide. If you've ever breathed against a window, all that condensation, that's water. But the main focus, the thing we actually keep that we need, is the ATP. Is that energy that our cells need for life's processes. Now there's a question in the middle, in the chat. What do you guys think? What do you notice about the relationship between the equations of photosynthesis and respiration? No, nobody wants to go? Nobody wants to guess? So the products and reactants aren't the same. If you see here, the reactants of photosynthesis are actually the products of cellular respiration. And then same with the reactants. So they're all the same molecules, but we use them in different ways. The reactants of cellular respiration are the products of photosynthesis. So yeah, plants produce the oxygen and we breathe it in. We breathe out the carbon dioxide, so the plants take it in. Good. All right, there's two types of respiration that our cells do. And the words look similar, but they are not. Aerobic respiration requires oxygen. And if you can remember, the air has oxygen. Aerobic needs oxygen. That is the type that we do most of the time because we breathe all the time and our body has oxygen pretty much all the time. If it doesn't, we die. Aerobic respiration happens in the mitochondria. The other type is called anaerobic respiration. If you put the prefix an, or even a in front of a word, it means not. So no oxygen. So anaerobic respiration does not use oxygen. And this type of respiration happens in our cytoplasm. So this is why we go over all of the cell organelles first. The chloroplast, the mitochondria, because next we talk about more specific processes that happen within those organelles. And then a type of anaerobic respiration that we study extensively is called fermentation. So fermentation is an anaerobic process. It allows ATP to be made even when there is no oxygen. So like I said, we go without it too long and we die. But for very, very tiny short periods of time, if our cell doesn't have oxygen for some reason, our body switches to fermentation to still make ATP. So a lot of this time, this happens to athletes. This is where cramps come from. You're a runner, you're some kind of athlete, you breathe really, really hard, you're running out of oxygen, your cells start to cramp. It's kind of your cell's way of saying, hey, I need more oxygen, but I'm going to make ATP, I'm going to make energy in the meantime through this other process until you give me more oxygen. So just because there is no oxygen, our bodies still need to make ATP. We've also harnessed it as a way to make food. Cheese, beer, yogurt, bread. These are all made through the fermentation process. All right, that is the last slide for the notes. I'm going to switch over to talking about useful information. If you didn't get all of the notes, the video will be posted in a couple hours and you can take them. But we're at that time of year where students like to ask me, how do I raise my grade? How do I get a better grade? And there are 3 easy ways. First one is to complete your missing work. If you need help finding your missing work, I can help you look on your Infinite Campus, but all your missing work is going to be on Infinite Campus. I've been harping on you the last 2 weeks that your grades are found on Infinite Campus, not on Canvas. So if you need help, stick around after class and we can look for your missing work together. You can also email me and I can send you a list. Number 2, request to retest. This is a quiz on Canvas. It's not worth any points. It's basically a survey saying what do you want to retake? What grade did you get and why? And then you have to actually correct your test if you want to retake it. But there are directions. So if you want to retake any of your large 100-point exams, you can check that out. And then the third thing, there are 2 virtual labs you can do for extra credit on Canvas over Thanksgiving break. All right. So I will show you. It's its own module. Share this tab instead. So this is this week. And then this is the module for next week for Thanksgiving break. So there's your request to retest. There's 2 extra credit labs. But you have to be done, your prerequisite, you have to be done with week 15 first. So you have to finish all of this week's first, or else this module will not open. Okay? Anybody have any questions?